¡Suéltalo! ¡Ya!
Sí, tranquilo, tío. No hay problema. No hay ningún problema.
¿Quién eres?
Star-Lord.
¿Quién?
Star-Lord, tío. ¿El forajido legendario? Déjalo.
I am blessed because he just might be the coolest character Marvel ever created, even if I wasn't familiar with Groot, as I was an avid comic reader growing up and a diehard Marvel comic reader.
My husband is a painter, and we were having dinner one night with a colleague of his who was showing us her latest work, and it was a bullfighter. She put a bullfighter in front of a Picasso painting, and made him do the dance of the death when the fighter is inviting the bull to just come and basically surrender to the sword that's waiting for him behind the cape. And she shot it in very slow motion, and to me it was the most sensual, beautiful, graceful form of just, it was just so stealth, and I thought, oh my God, Gamora definitely has to be a bullfighter.
Hemos detenido a estos 5 en Sandar. Escuchad los antecedentes. Drax, alias el Destructor, desde que mataron a su esposa y a su familia, va por la galaxia enfurecido, buscando venganza. Gamora, soldado, asesina a sueldo, buscada por más de una docena de homicidios. Rocket, buscado por más de 50 cargos por robo de vehículos y fugas de prisión.
¿Y eso qué es?
Groot, ha viajado últimamente como planta músculo personal de Rocket.
Number one, I'm a great guy. Now, number one, I think it's really about, when you create a movie that's about characters first and foremost, actors are thirsty for that, you know? Actors are used to doing, you know, independent movies where the directors care about the actors, and big A-level pictures where they only care about the explosions and the way shots look and that stuff. And for me, it's like I really care about the characters first and foremost. To me, the action, the explosions, and all of that only works if the characters work.
Peter Jason Quill, también conocido como Star-Lord.
¿Quién le llama así?
Solo él mismo. Se le busca principalmente por cargos de agresión, embriaguez en público y estafa.
I'm comfortable being known as an actor that can sort of provide different layers according to the characters that I may be portraying. And because I was a dancer at a very, you know, my whole life, it has given me the ability to invest my physical ability, my physical aptitudes or whatever, to the characters that I play or I choose to play. And it's great because it gives a very empowering message to women out there to maybe entertain doing more sports and stuff.
Eso es mío.
Idiota.
¡Quítate esos auriculares! ¡Ahora!
I love it. I haven't had a lot of opportunity to find the right character since The Iron Giant. And The Iron Giant was such an important movie at the time, and it felt like such a success. It was hard to find anything that could ever excite me to, you know, take the challenge up again. This was more challenging than The Iron Giant in some ways because I had to find the emotion, and all that I could manipulate was the inflection and the nuances, because the 3 syllables had to stay the same in every scene and every interaction with other characters and with every emotion. So there's something as a thespian that was very, very, very challenging about that.
I mean, I think for me, the biggest influence was, you know, there were some movies that I really loved as a kid. Raiders of the Lost Ark, Empire Strikes Back, Back to the Future. And it wasn't that I wanted to make a movie that was like those movies, but I wanted to make a movie that made people feel like those movies made me feel, that really made people believe in the magic of cinema. And so to me, that was the biggest influence. And in that way, I don't really think of Guardians as a superhero movie. I think of it as a space epic.
Proud. Really proud. The geek in me feels like I am on that vessel with Marvel, going into new territory even for Marvel. We're going into the galaxy. We are pioneers. This is the most kind of progressive film Marvel's ever made, with characters that are not the everyday lunchbox characters. These characters are a little deeper into the Marvel universe.
It makes me really happy. I grew up loving science fiction. My mother, my sisters, we love science fiction. I thought every girl on this planet loved it. So it's something that I get to do for me. I get to work with amazing filmmakers that are very, very unique. That are, you know, which such as the directors that kind of do these kinds of genres of movies. But I also get in between space movies to stay here on Earth and do films like Out of the Furnace and Nina. So I feel at the end of the day when I go home that my cup is full in terms of the things that I like to do and the way that I like to push myself.
Se hacen llamar los Guardianes de la Galaxia.
Vaya panda de pringaos.
I don't think there is any formula for a blockbuster that I know of. I mean, I think maybe James Cameron does, but for me, it really is just about telling a story that I believe in, and that's true whether I'm making a big blockbuster film or if I'm making a movie for $3 million. I have to really love the characters, I have to really love the story, and I have to do it as purely and with as much heart as possible. And I think that is probably what sets Guardians apart from a lot of other big blockbuster movies, because I don't think all movies that are big are like that. Some are, but this one definitely is.
¡Qué risa tan falsa!
¡Es de verdad!
¡Súper falsa!
Yo soy Groot.
Gracias. ¿Qué es eso?
Una bomba.
¿Y la dejas tirada por ahí?
Iba a meterla en una caja.
¿Y qué consigues con eso?
Como te gusta cortar el rollo, tío.